Welcome, everyone. I'm Daniel Harmon, showrunner for Tuttle Twins, and I'm excited to be with you tonight to talk a little bit about some Tuttle Twins updates. Welcome, welcome. Make sure you leave a comment about where you're watching from and who you're watching with. Go ahead and throw in a comment there, and we'll start kind of sounding off with different people of where you're watching from. We'll see who's the farthest away from Utah, where I am. We'll play a little bit of a. We'll have a reward. It'll be a moral reward. It won't be a physical or real reward of any kind. But we'll just say, hey, you're the furthest away, so that'll be kind of cool. So super excited to have everyone here. This is the live stream where we will reveal actual animation. We're calling it finished animation. It's not finished, meaning it's not 100% done, but it's close. It's like 90 some odd % of the way there. So we feel like it's close enough to show you so you can kind of see where we're going with this. But yeah, we'll have some clips of animation that we'll show. And if we hit enough viewers, then we're going to go big and show some other cool stuff as well. So from Arizona, hi, Trevor, welcome. JG from Brazil. Okay, already winning with that one. Jonathan from Arizona and JG from Brazil, welcome. Okay, Trisha from Minnesota, welcome. Aaron from, what was that, from Montana? Gosh, they just keep coming up so fast. From Wyoming, man. Alex, man, they're going faster than I can keep track here, but that's great because we've got a lot of activity on this. So we've got Elizabeth from Michigan, we've got Leslie from Texas. Welcome, Leslie. Chip from Oregon, man. No one from Utah. That's fine. Freedom's for everyone. I'm Brian Flukiger from Idaho. Welcome, Ryan. Good to have you. Kristen from Utah. Okay, there's the first one from Utah. That's awesome. So we're up to 94 viewers. Just a reminder to like this video and to share it. Share it so that it can be seen by other people. And that's how this thing gets out there. That's how YouTube recognizes that this is important in their algorithm. It's going to be the same thing for Facebook. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell. Again, that's another way of telling YouTube this is important. And if you haven't followed on the Facebook page, make sure to do that as well. So we're up to 93 viewers. So what are we going to need, Jared? What's going to be the big incentive that we put out there to show some more stuff? I was thinking about 112. 112? Okay, just a random number, 112. We got to get to 112 viewers before we unlock a little bit more of an animatic that we're going to show you from episode 2, but we got to cross that 112 mark of viewers. So this is great. Okay, so we've got some other ones. Jacob from Virginia, welcome. Glad to have you. And also, manipulate the algorithm. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, says the gaming family. John from Minnesota, welcome, John. We're up to 101. I don't think 112 is enough. I think we got higher. No, we'll stick at 112. Maybe we'll go, if we go even higher, maybe we'll do something even more. But the Noah Balak Show, welcome. Rudy from Chico, California. Oh, Ruby from Chico, California. Well, I'm so glad to have you all here. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. Those of you that haven't subscribed on YouTube, make sure to do that and hit the notification bell. Thank you for following the Facebook page, commenting, liking, all that good stuff. That's what helps the word get out more about freedom. So let's go down through our agenda for today. We've got some exciting stuff to cover. Let's talk episode updates overall. Okay, so last time we were here, we showed you some sneak peeks into some of the art design and things that we're developing for the episodes. We're going to show you how some of that has actually progressed, so that's going to be cool. Episode 2 is now reaching, it's very close to the final draft of, final draft? It's very close to finishing the rough draft of the animatic, meaning the rough storyboards and the animatic and the voices and all that stuff have come together for the timing, the comedy, the story, the principles, all those things coming together. We're almost to a point where we'll go into the refined draft or the fine storyboards where we just make the art much more ready to hand off to the animators. But that one's nearing completion on that side of things. Episode 2 is also in the animatic stage right now. It's I would have to ask Johnny exactly where that's at, but we'll be showing a little bit of the art design and things from episode 2. We're up to 110. Oh my goodness, we're gonna hit it. 112's coming right around the corner. And then episode 3, we have also started into the animatic process. It's a very early stage, and some of the character design has actually started for that as well. So that's kind of the stage that each one of those episodes are at. For those of you that missed the announcement that we put out, did we put it on Facebook and YouTube? We put it everywhere. We announced that we have hired a new producer for the Tuttle Twins show. Her name is Jordan Curley. She's awesome. She's actually she used to work at Blue Sky Studios, and so she worked on things like the Peanuts movie, one of the Ice Age movies, Ferdinand, some of those other things, and then she's worked on big major national brands like Toyota and GE and GMC or some others like that. But anyway, she's very experienced, and we're super to have her steadying, organized, go-getter type hand to really help us get this show off the ground. So that's a big announcement from our side, is bringing on Jordan as a producer, and we're super happy to have here. Okay, where was I going with that next one? Oh, on the characters front, or like the voice actors. We've now been auditioning voices for Dad, because Dad actually starts coming in on episode 3. And so we've started, had some really good auditions for that, some great ones already. So really, really excited about that. We feel like we're going to be in a really good place, especially once we do our work on that. And then we've also started doing some voice auditions for Gandhi, and we're really encouraged with the voices we've heard for that. So this is, it's pretty cool how things are kind of coming along. Again, those are both characters that come into play more. I shouldn't say episode 3. I should say, just so you guys understand, that's the episode that deals with the golden rule. So that's going to be cool. And oh, we're up to 115. Great job, guys. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting and doing everything that you are. Oh, from Central Wisconsin. Welcome, Colleen. I used to live in Wisconsin, Appleton area, actually. Yes, okay. We're going to take some questions. All right. Here it is. How can we audition for voices? Great question, Bart. Send an email to TuttleTwinsTV@gmail.com. TuttleTwinsTV@gmail.com. So a cool story around that. One more piece of progress that we've made, not only for episode 1, but for the entirety of the show, is we've actually kicked off a composer. So a guy that's going to be doing the music for the show. And he found us basically this way, through a live stream. He saw one of our live streams, got excited about it, and then reached out to a friend of a friend and emailed us, I think at TuttleTwinsTV@gmail.com. And we took a look at his work. We took a look at a lot of different people's work, a lot of different composers, interviewed him. We're impressed with his abilities. And yeah, he is now starting the composition and writing music for the first episode, and starting to establish a musical style for the show as a whole. So that's pretty cool. So dreams can come true through live streams and through TuttleTwinsTV@gmail.com. Okay, so that's another little update there, is that we've got music kicked off now. And let me see here. What else we got? Okay, we hired Jordan. I got up to date on that. And then, I wanted to talk a little bit about, for those that are new on this stream, again, the first 4 episodes are dealing with, most of you have seen the animatic for episode 1, the principles from the law. We'll probably actually revisit these principles in a later episode as well, but we kind of established the basis of that in episode 1. We're covering the principles from the miraculous pencil of free markets and free trade in the invisible hand, and the twins will actually go back and visit Adam Smith, so that'll be pretty cool. And then the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We also talk about the concept of blowback in there, and the twins will actually visit Gandhi on this one, so that's really cool. And finally, showbiz, and this is the other episode that I'm directing. We're not covering as much all the specific elements of the story, but the principles of entrepreneurship. And we're really excited about the way that one is coming together. Okay, so those are the first 4 episodes. We're holding off on the big announcement until the end, right? Okay. We are going to be showing some animation coming up, but first we're going to show some other art. And I'm going to tease one little thing here. Should I do this right now, or do that later?
I can do it. Yeah,
okay. Okay. So I'm gonna tease one tiny little thing. Let's see if you can see at the very bottom of my camera, a little something right there. Just maybe a little piece of merchandise that we're working on for your kids that I think they'll be really, really stoked about. Okay, anyway, that's all we're going to show of that. It's an early prototype. I can't show it. It's not ready, but we are working towards the merchandising side of things, and I'm super excited about this. My kids got to see it, and they were blown away. And I mean, it's for Derek. It's for the raccoon. Let's be honest. But I can't show you what it is. They saw it immediately, even though the prototype has a little ways to go. They were super excited about it and immediately recognized it as Derek. And we're like, "Can I sleep with it? Can I have it in my bed?" And I was like, "No, it's a prototype. Get your hands off." So anyway, that will be coming up. I'm not going to give any time on that, but that's just a very early stage prototype that I wanted to give a little tease to. Okay, should we go over some art things?
Let's go over the difference between the book design and...
Oh, okay. Yeah. So one of the questions that people have been asking is about the difference between the book design and the designs of the books and then the designs of what we're doing in the show. And there are some differences for sure. So first and foremost, the books were always conceptualized by Connor as an education tool. Primarily to be able to teach about these concepts that were not available really in any other literary sources. You just basically couldn't find these in books to teach kids in this way, and so he went and created it himself. That's the reason I bought the first book like practically immediately when it came out, and I bought every book since. But they were never thought of in terms of, at least from the get-go, about things like merchandising and animated TV shows, and it's just a different. It's just a little bit of a different beast at that point. So we have taken a little bit of a different direction with the designs for the characters, with merchandising and toys and T-shirts and all those types of things in mind. Also, there's a little bit more diversity in the characters themselves, where Grandma is an immigrant from Cuba, and then Mom is half Cuban and half American, and that the kids are quarter Cuban. And so we're trying to make this appeal internationally, that the principles of freedom are universally applicable for peace and prosperity, no matter what nation you live in. And so that's what we're trying to do with the show. So it's all about how we're approaching merchandising, how we're approaching a cartoon specifically, and then an appeal to a more international type audience. So that's why we're taking a little bit of a departure from the books in both the storytelling aspects as well as the character designs themselves. And we're approaching this where the books, I think, are very they're very great on education. We're maintaining the same principles, but we want this to work as a show that kids will choose over their entertainment on Netflix, YouTube, Disney Plus, and the like. That it just works as a great adventure and a great story and great characters that they relate with emotionally, and then they also get the really good storytelling the really good teaching along the way. So that's kind of the vision for where we're headed with this. So awesome. We're up to 133, guys. You guys are amazing. Okay, so that question hopefully is addressed there. Okay. Okay, we have a couple more questions. Okay, let's dive into those. Do you have a theme song yet? We do not have a theme song yet, but our composer, Michael, is, I think, I don't know if I should say he's working on it, because he's working on musical themes for the first episode, but the theme song itself, he was going to approach that a little bit later based on kind of what we come up with for the musical style of the show first. So I'm not sure if he's had ideas on that yet or not, but he will be approaching that. So great question. Any other questions there? Sure. Okay. Why does Emily have glasses in the show? That's a great question. Maybe partially because my eyesight is now bad enough that I should have glasses. Maybe it's a subliminal thing. No, when I was describing the character of Emily in to our character designer, of her being she's really into, you know, things like math and science and history, and is maybe a little bit more of what's the right term? A little bit more of a bookworm than Ethan's character is. It's not to say Ethan isn't smart. He's actually going to be a really smart kid. It's just she's a little bit more on the side of being really into that side of things. Then in one of the character designs, he actually included her with glasses, and I just liked it. I thought it was cool. I thought it helped play into her character overall. You also notice that her shirt is a little bit suggestive of like a lab coat, which she's into science. And again, in the Golden Rule episode, they're actually going to be going to science camp, so a little bit of a spoiler alert there. But yeah, we just felt like it played really well into her character. And yeah, so hopefully that answers that question. Any more? No? Good. Okay, let's take a look at some new art that has been developed. Okay. One more time, just remember to like and share if you haven't yet. Like this post, share it so that more people can see this and everything. We're already, you know, this is awesome. We're already at a point where I think we've got as many people at once as we've ever had on a live stream, which is awesome. We can push this thing even further. But again, the animation is still coming up, so we want as many people as possible to get a little bit of a taste of that. And it is a little taste. I won't say it's long clips. They're little clips, but at least start to show some of the movement and give a little taste of where we're headed. Okay. Okay. If you have other questions, go ahead and put those in the comments, and we will be addressing those a little bit later. But let's look at some art. Okay. Okay. This is just a tease for St. Patrick's Day coming right up. Just a little gag about Derek having eaten an entire pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. So anyway, just thought we'd give you a little tease of that. That's coming up on social media tomorrow, right? Man, I have to remember to wear green. Okay, so last time we already showed you these space pirates. So that's kind of where we ended up with the color and the designs. And we showed you these different designs of their ship that they fly in. So we gathered some feedback and did some adjustments and things. And this is where we've ended up now. On a more finished design with the color coming in. There's the space pirates inside this little space pirate ship, which we thought was really cool. So that'll be playing a big role in the episode about the miraculous pencil. So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at another one. Okay, before we showed you Gandhi. So here were some of the design things that we were putting together for the character of Gandhi in the Golden Rule episode. And now we've started to add some color and take a look at some different color explorations. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So that's pretty fun. I think he's looking awesome. Okay, we also last time talked a little bit about Ricardo and showed some pencil drawings for him. That's that little squirrel there on the right. And that's been developed a little bit further to now where we've got some color for him. And he's looking really fun. If you want to, are we wanting them to say which ones they like? Okay, well, we want to thank you all for your feedback of which ones you said you liked in the first place, because we've been taking that into account as we make these different decisions about what designs to go to. But are you wanting them to say which they like as the 1, 2, and 3? Okay, yeah. All right, so tell us what you like of those colors for Ricardo the squirrel. 1, 2, or 3. One's got a little bit more orange, 3 has a little bit more red, 2 a little bit more brown. But I think they're all pretty adorable. So you can let us know in the comments there. All right. I think we also showed this Napoleon Wormapart stuff and George Wormington. That's going to play a role in the Golden Rule episode. And here they are with some more developed color. So those are really fun. And then here's some different designs for one of the characters, one of the kids at the science camp. You can let us know which you prefer, wardrobe-wise, 1, 2, or 3. This is what's going to happen is the characters both going to have a time when he has a lab coat on and when he doesn't have a lab coat on. So yeah, you can see on each one of those, you're basically just kind of deciding on whether you like the blue shirt with the red tie, the white shirt with the blue tie, or the red shirt with the black tie. So you can let us know in the comments there. But that's another character that will be coming up. And this is one of the camp counselors. Counselor Judy. we're going to lose track of all the 1s, 2s, and 3s here because they're coming in for all sorts of things. It's too rapid fire here. But
Hair color on this one.
yeah, give us just tell us what hair color you like better on Judy. Just say hair red or hair green or whatever, and we'll know which one you're talking about. Not green, hair yellow and hair brown or blonde. Yes. Okay. All right. Here's a fun little thing that'll come into play in one of the episodes. Derek is going to be decked out with a little bit of a bagpipes, and I don't know what this get up is called, but it's something from Scotland. So that's going to be kind of fun. That's going to be coming into play. And this is just a mysterious image of a background that's happening. I promise it's not, well, I shouldn't promise anything, but it's not a bad thing. It looks right there like it could be bad. It's not. It's going to be really cool. And then let's see, what else do we have? Okay, so here's some earlier sketch work on a mine for graphite for the pencil. And here is some more developed art with that, some of the graphite being mined. So that's looking pretty good. Next. Okay, here's a kind of a rough sketch of science camp. And then here's a more developed one. And then this is kind of an ice cream land that the twins go and visit. And here it is more developed with the full ice cream cone and the ice cream on top. So we're really pretty happy about that one. That looks kind of like something you find in a board game or something. Okay, there's some little sneak peeks into the art. So great job on reaching that viewer count. That's some fun stuff. And again, your questions you can put in the comments, and we'll try to address those as best we can a little bit later coming up. Okay, are you wanting to do it now? Okay, let's do questions now. Let's hit the questions right now. Forest gnomes, run for your lives, someone says. Okay, when are you hoping to release the TV shows to the public? Okay, that's always the big question, right? I like that you used the word hoping. We're doing the very, very best we can. Right now, the plan is to release the pilot episode, the one about the law that you've all seen in the full animatic. Release that in June. And that will again be released on YouTube. It'll be released on Facebook. It'll be on VidAngel. So it'll be available for free in all those places so that we can spread the message far and wide. For episodes 2 through 4, so the episodes that cover the golden rule, that cover the principles of the spectacular show business or entrepreneurship, and the miraculous pencil, free market and free trade. Excuse me, those ones we're looking at a fall release as well with those ones. And so those ones will be available all on an app that you can download for free. So that'll be cool. Anyway, so that's a great question. Next one. Why was Derek created as comic relief and why a raccoon? That's a great question. Yes. So when we started this whole process, we had several different writers, and one of the first things I told them was, I want there to be a fun animal sidekick of some kind. And I didn't know if it was going to be a sidekick to Ethan and Emily, or if it was going to be a sidekick to Grandma. At that point, I don't even think we completely conceptualized Grandma. So I think it was just a sidekick in general. I'm like, yes, I want it for comic relief. I've always loved that element of kids show, of a little sidekick kind of animal thing that can add in a bunch of physical or slapstick humor. I think that type of physical humor is very universal, translates really well internationally. I love it to begin with. And so, yes, I said, let's think along those lines. Okay. And then when we were brainstorming different types of animals that could be, I think we thought of like a chameleon, or we thought of, I think we threw around the idea of a snake or a gerbil or a cat or a rat, or I think any number of things. I think we went to maybe even like a crazy bird, like a pigeon. And then ultimately we just kind of liked the idea of the raccoon, because raccoons are just kind of wild animals. And so it became this character that is just, it's just a wild card where we can do almost anything with it that we want to in any moment needed. And it allows us a lot of liberty that we would not be able to take those kind of liberties with Ethan or Emily. It wouldn't make any sense for the characters, and we thought kids would ultimately fall in love with it. And again, we're trying to make this in addition to being a show that really promotes the ideas of freedom and the principles of freedom, we're also trying to make this a successful business enterprise. We're trying to make this a successful show, and so merchandising is huge for the show to make it successful. And that's why another reason why we wanted a little sidekick is we thought that could be really great for selling toys and things like that. So anyway, okay. Is there going to be any villains besides Karen or Corinne? Well, she'll actually be going by, she is actually Corinne, but the Karen joke I think we'll only use a few times. To be determined. We don't know yet. Right now, Corinne's been a really great villain for us, and that's continued to be the case, I'd say, through episodes 4, all the way on 1 through 4. So I think there's possibilities of that in the future. I think we're very open to that. We kind of know where we're going overall story-wise. We don't know how extra villains might fit into that, but we have some ideas. And so, yes, I think there's some openness to it. But right now, Corinne has been a really good villain. Okay, what else? Any other questions? Someone says they're glad we picked a raccoon. I am too. I love raccoons. It's interesting. Raccoons aren't really native to Utah. They've been brought here by other people and then just kind of taken over I don't know about taking over the mountains, but they're all over the place. Like we have chickens in our yard at home, and we have to be careful that like they're locked up at night and stuff because raccoons can get in and do major damage. But so anyway, raccoons in real life are kind of scary, but they're still pretty cute to look at. Do you have a plan to do an episode adaptation of Tuttle Twins Education Vacation? Will John Taylor Gatto be in it? Ooh, that's a great question. We're going to discuss a little bit more of that coming up. Yes, I would say absolutely we have a plan to do that. I don't know if it'll be in season 1. It might be in season 2, but yes, absolutely. We have plans to cover the principles of the Education Vacation. And will he be in it? I would assume so. Yes, I don't see any reason why not. Okay, how will you be advertising the cartoons? Great question. We will be advertising by creating a lot of content on YouTube, creating a lot of content on Facebook. We've got Instagram. VidAngel has its own ways of advertising as well. They've got a great marketing team over there. Yeah, it'll be primarily through social media. We feel like that's where we can do the best targeting. But in circumstances where it makes sense, we'll branch beyond that and where we can make it financially viable. We don't want to just chuck out advertising to do that. We want to be as fiscally responsible as possible with the investments that you guys have put in. And thank you so much for doing that. Okay. All right. How many episodes of seasons are you thinking? That's great. So long term. Okay. Episodes. We are shooting actually for 12 episodes for season 1. That's kind of what we're going to for a complete season. That's the goal. And then seasons, infinite. And you think I'm kidding when I say that, but I do kind of mean it. I think this is something that could go on for decades. And I think the principles of freedom will always be relevant in some way. There's ways to revisit different stories and find different figures. Some of them that are more prominent, some of them that are more obscure. And I really think this can go on season after season after season and be a really long-term play. I mean, if you look at the longevity of something like the Magic School Bus or The Simpsons or something along those lines, I think there's a real chance for this to be that way. And that's the vision for it. Okay. What do we have here? Will there be any celebrity cameos or a Camaro or a cameo from Connor himself? I think we're totally open to celebrity cameos. I don't think that's the starting point for us. I think once we start getting some momentum and seeing some stuff in release and having people fall in love with it, I think people will naturally kind of want to be more involved in it. That's the hope anyway. And yes, a cameo from Connor, I think, would be absolutely merited, and it'd be awesome to find a way to integrate that at some point. So I love the idea. Noted, and Connor's now going to hold me to it, I'm sure. But either way, we'll just have to teach Connor. I'll just have to direct him on how to do cartoon voices. He just has to do his own voices. He's playing himself, I guess. But anyway, you have to be really animated for cartoons. Okay. All right, here we go. Will it be on Netflix or Disney Plus? Our distribution partner for streaming is VidAngel. So, will it be on Disney Plus or Netflix? That would all depend on how VidAngel would feel about that. If they felt like that was advantageous, then maybe. I can't speak for them at all on this, but right now our streaming partner is Disney. Sorry, not Disney. Is VidAngel and not Disney and not Netflix. But I would say I'd have openness to that myself personally, but that would be something we'd have to work out with VidAngel. And I think the more likely scenario is that we end up having distribution partners somewhere on like syndicated cable TV or something along those lines, that we can find different channels where it would play really well. I think that's the more likely scenario, because VidAngel is the exclusive streaming provider for this, or distributor. So anyway, great question. Any others? Okay, we'll come back if there are more questions, but for now, is it time to show some animation? It's time to show a little bit of animation. Okay, a little bit of context. These are short clips.
I'm going to show the Miraculous Pencil animatic.
Oh, we're doing the Miraculous Pencil animatic first, because we passed the number, and we're even above it right now, even though we came up and went down just a little bit. Okay, cool. We're going to see a little bit more of the animatic from the Miraculous Pencil. For those of you that were on the last live stream, some of this will be a little bit of a repeat. There's been some things that have been adjusted to it, and so you'll see some things that we've hopefully improved on. There'll still be more improvements to come, but we're going to show more than we did before. How many minutes long is it?
3.5.
Ooh, about 3.5, 4 minutes long. So enjoy.
Space Pirates!
Why are they chasing us? Doesn't he know stealing is wrong? That's a lesson for another episode. Ethan, blast the pizza cannon!
How is that helpful?
They're lactose intolerant!
Okay, very helpful. I hate to do this. You guys look super cool. Not for cheese! My tummy can't handle it! Domino!
What a trip!
So glad we didn't have to learn about geopolitics this time.
Oh, speaking of time, when are we, Grandma?
5 minutes before your art projects are due.
What? It's a time machine. Couldn't we have gotten here earlier?
Don't look at me.
Why does he always have to drive?
Okay, gotta get to class.
Adios, Grandma.
There's no one like those twins, huh, Derek? Derek? Derek!
We'll be fine. I finally get to use my emergency art kit. I've got colored pencils. I've got crayons. I've even got paint. We're doomed.
Great, now all our art supplies are gone. For 8 to 10 hours.
If I get an F on this art project, then I'll never get into Princeton.
And I'll never grow up to own a chocolate factory. Goodbye, purple suit. I've got an idea. We can trade our extra canvases for pencils.
That's brilliant, Ethan. Now, who has colored pencils?
Not there. What in the... There.
Oh, no.
You're right, we're doomed.
Come on, Ethan. They have what we need. It looks like they haven't even finished their project either. You haven't finished my art project?
Yeah, I forgot the canvas.
They need canvases. We need pencils.
No, Bruce is a bully. He always puts the worst signs on my back.
Pull it
together, Ethan. We've got bigger fish to fry.
Fish?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Derek! Oh, Derek!
Woo! I can yell random names too. Trevor!
Derek!
Trevor!
Sorry, didn't see you there, mijo.
It's okay. I think you actually realigned my spine.
Derek?
He ate our art stuff.
How is he not dead?
Are raccoons ever really alive?
Remember, kids, hand in your canvases in 3 minutes.
Why don't you trade a couple of these canvases with Miss Stalin and her boyfriend, and they'll give you some pencils?
'Cause they're mean. I'll do it alone, even if I have to make a pencil myself.
That's impossible, Ethan.
But Grandma Gabby, you told us that nothing is impossible.
I never said that. Why would I say that? Lots of things are impossible. Have you ever played the Powerball? The point is, it's impossible for you to make a pencil because not a single person on Earth knows how.
Pretty sure I could figure it out.
Okay, prove it. Vamos.
I'm taking my grandkids to Scotland. Be back in 10 seconds.
Okay, sure. Just take the hall pass.
Ooh, yay! I love escaping our problems with magic.
Escaping our problems with science, Ethan.
Bruce, look.
Karen, please take your seat.
Are you taking us back to the moment before Derek ate our stuff so we can stop him?
Nope.
I don't think you're using this thing correctly.
That's how that's coming along. So, poor goldfish, says Colleen. Oh my gosh, someone says hilarious. That's good. Are raccoons ever really alive? Ha ha ha. Yeah, I'm glad to see some of the reactions to this. And obviously, this isn't in a finished form. Have some things to work out. But anyway, it's coming together. Coming together. Okay, we are up for animation now, right? Okay, these are small clips. The sound design is not complete. The voice balancing and tweaking is not perfect. Again, they're not perfect, but it at least will give you a sense of some of the movement in the clip. So we're going to show 4 different clips, not even really connected. They're all kind of from the earlier part on episode 1, and then we'll come back and discuss. But yeah, again, small clips, but at least we have something.
Sugar! Just 1,096 calories per serving.
I forgot to tell you, we've got the animation, the animatic up above, and then we have the animation below to watch. I think we should watch that again. That was really fast. Yeah, let's just go all the way through it again. Let's go full screen on this one. Yeah, now you can see the animatic that it was tied to. But yeah, let's go full screen. And again, they're just coming right.
Sugar! Just 1,096 calories per serving.
There you go. There's some animation. So it's coming together piece by piece. All right. Any other questions that we have at this point? Perfect sour face on point. Someone, Diana says, well, thank you. That's awesome. I thought the sour face was really fun too. Jeffrey says again, again, did he say it again? Like as in the third time? Do we want to show it one more time? Let's do it one more time. It's just very short.
Sugar! 1,096 calories per serving.
All right. So again, about 95% of the way there. Not 100% there, but getting really close. And again, all the sound elements and stuff are not fully baked in, but kids enjoyed. Okay, that's great, Colin. Thank you. Everyone said, someone says it looks great. I love it. 9-year-old girl likes to recover tomorrow. What was that?
Big announcement and take some questions.
Yeah, we'll make the big announcement now and take some questions. So here is the big announcement. We have now greenlit episode 5. Yes, there will be 5 episodes, hopefully more, but episodes 5 and 6 have been greenlit. We're going to do the food truck fiasco, the principles of the food truck fiasco for episode 5. And then episode 6 is a little bit too, I guess, to be determined. Let us know in the comments which of the books you would like to see covered in the season. Maybe for episode 6, maybe for other ones. But if you could vote on one, the next one that you would want covered, let us know in the comments. But we have greenlit those. We have been able to put together some investment for that. So that's awesome. And we're really excited about it. Okay. So I'm not going to give a specific amount. I'm going to hold off on that. Okay. We can. I'm not going to do the specific amount. Yeah, just for for different reasons. But yeah, we've been able to get enough money from private investors that we are now on to episodes 5 and 6. So that is going to be coming up as well. Okay. Awesome. Let's get to some questions now that the big announcements are out of the way and all the cool stuff we've seen. We'll just hang around for a little while and make sure we can answer any questions that you have. How long does it take to make an episode? To some degree, we're still figuring that out. From the beginning of writing to the end of the episode, the rough time frame is about 10 months. That's the best I can kind of say. That's kind of the rough time frame that we're looking at, is about 10 months from writing until end of animation and being ready for you guys to watch. So that's a great question. Okay, next. When will we see Ricardo the Squirrel? Ricardo the Squirrel will come into play on the Golden Rule episode. I think that's actually going to end up being episode 2 is what it's looking like. So I think we'll be seeing Ricardo pretty right away. Okay. Next. Do you have a brain trust? We do, Diana. We have a brain trust. We have one internally that we use that's for those that aren't familiar with the term brain trust, that basically means it's a collection of storytellers that can watch your stuff at different key stages of development, or like can listen to your script at key stages of writing, and then they can give feedback. They can say what made them laugh, what didn't, what principles were clear to them, what wasn't, what was working for the story and what wasn't. But yes, we have a brain trust. It's made up primarily of different directors and creative directors that have quite a bit of experience here at Harmon Brothers. And yeah, so we do have a brain trust. So great question. And we use it at every stage. We use it in the, we use it like three or four times throughout the writing process. And then we use it another 3 or 4 times throughout the animatic process. We'll be using it again when we get to the final animation, all that stuff. So yeah, we have a brain trust. What else we got here? Will the characters travel to different countries in the episodes? Yes, they will. In fact, they do travel in the Golden Rule episode. They travel to a different country. In the Miraculous Pencil, they travel to a number of different countries, and briefly, but they do. And then let's see, in the Show Business episode, no, they do not travel to a different country. But yeah, they in both the Golden Rule and in the Miraculous Pencil, they'll be traveling abroad. Good question. As well as maybe to some other dimensions or things like that. Okay, 2 or 3 more questions. When does funding for the next few episodes begin? I can't answer that question. That's the most I can say about that. Thank you for asking the question, but that's one I can't answer. Okay. How long are episodes? We're shooting for about 20 minutes. 20 to 22 minutes is kind of the rough run time that we're looking at for the episodes. Yep. Okay. Are the books going to become episodes? How about new books or episodes not based on books? So we will be capturing, I think, most of the principles that are in the books currently in different episodes. And the same for new books. I think we'll be capturing most of those, because what will happen is ideally we'll get to a spot where we're doing about 12 episodes per year. So about 12 episodes per season and about a season per year. If we get to that kind of cadence, I mean, Connor isn't putting out that many books per year. And so we'll actually kind of be ahead of where he's at. And so, yes, some of the episodes will actually dive into little things that the books were not able to, because we'll have a lot of episodes to cover material. So that'll be good. Is the animation done in Utah? It is not. No, the animation is being done in India. And most of the design for the art is being done like all over the place. We've got designers in LA, Utah, Las Vegas, Canada, Boston, Japan. They're just people kind of strewn all over the place with this. But then the animation itself is being done handled in India. Are there people with previous experience seen an animated show go from start to full season or more in your brain trust? Okay, that's Diana's question again. No, there are not. Let's see, that have gone all the way through on an animated show. Just trying to think if there's anybody else. No, there's other people that have been. That's not entirely true. We have one of our writers, Kelly. She has actually seen animation through from start to finish, and then. Let's see, of the actual brain trust on an animated show. No, I don't think they have yet. It's mostly in the form of different features that they worked on, or different ads that they've worked on, and things like that. Yeah. What we find is the storytelling principles are pretty universal, and we're getting enough perspective from different areas that we feel like we'll be pretty well covered. But that's a great question. One question. I understand that it's still a long ways off, but the future of this show. But in the future, if the show is a success, will you export the show for other countries and languages? 100%, yes, we will. Yeah, as the show succeeds, we will get translations together, and it will be streamed to other countries. For example, we're following the footsteps of The Chosen and the success that they've had, and The Chosen on VidAngel has been viewed in, I think, every single country except for North Korea. And so, yeah, that's the idea, is to take this as internationally as possible, as much as there's interest. So that's kind of the pay it forward model as well, where people will be able to watch the show for free. If they like what they've seen, they can pay it forward for other people to watch, and that'll make it so people in other countries can view as well. Okay.
Last question.
Yeah, one last question. Are there any way fans can help with the series? Yes. The biggest help is just showing up for these kinds of things right now. That's the biggest help, aside from the help of those who have already invested. Again, want to thank you for that. That's the reason that's the whole reason all this is possible. But sharing the content, liking the stuff on our pages, voting on the characters that we put up in the group when we put up different character styles for the characters that we're developing. If you can give us votes that way and your input, that's also helpful to kind of see where all that lands, and it helps us kind of inform what decisions we make. So all those things are very helpful, and there'll be a lot of ways to help in the future. That'll be coming up later, but anyway, I'm not going to get into that. Okay. All righty. That's it for our live stream. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you on the next one.